What's up, everybody? Go Burns doing another vlog. And I'm going to skip all the usual pomp and circumstance. Obviously, I did not have an intro, and I won't have an outro. And I guess it's twofold because of this particular topic, and because I have yet to build a new intro and outro specifically for the vlogs channel, which is what I'm planning to do. Because normally I post a new vlog once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending whenever I have a vlog idea or one of my subscribers submits a vlog suggestion. So hopefully by the next vlog we'll have a new intro and an outro, but that doesn't really matter right now. So Thursday kind of sucked. It's weird because I was already in kind of a bummed out mood. But then the news came out that Chester Bennington, a songwriter, singer for Linkin Park, one of my favorite bands, passed away. And he took his own life. And what's really tragic about this is that it was done on a birthday of one of his really good friends, Chris Cornell. You may be familiar with that name because he was also, singer of not just one but several popular bands. Temple of the Dog, Soundgarden, Audio Slave. He took his own life not too long ago. And him and Chester were really good friends. And so the news of Chris Cornell taking his life obviously hit a lot of people pretty hard. The fans, family of Chris Cornell, and obviously his friends, like Chester Bennington. And, Chester also had his own demons, his own problems, his own issues in life, just like everyone else has. And unfortunately, it got the better of him, and now he too is gone. Chester, Chris Cornell, so many others. And this is an issue that hits a lot of people, not just when it comes to people that we admire, that we look up to, whether they're musicians or artists, or great leaders, or thinkers, or anyone else in that capacity, but people that we know, friends and family, co-workers, acquaintances that one day they're here, they seem fine, and then the next day they're gone. And they also took their lives. And we always sit there pondering exactly what were the reasons that made them ultimately decide to end it. And some of them are obvious than others. Some actually leave a note to let people know why they're doing what they're doing. And others, they just up and end it. And they may have put on a smile and a friendly face and demeanor whenever you come across them, making you believe that there's nothing wrong with them, that everything seems to be okay in their lives. But unfortunately, what they're wearing is a mask. And some people have better masks than others. And ultimately, the mask comes off and they just can't take it anymore. And before you know it, they're gone. And it's a tragedy because this happens a lot, not just to celebrities, but to a great number of people out there. And I've noticed the number has gone up exceedingly high amongst young people, like teenagers, tweens, young adults. For whatever rhyme or reason, something happens to them and they end it. And they have their whole lives ahead of them. And now they're gone. And Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington were both very, very successful artists, musicians, who were loved by millions of people. And you could look from one point of view and say, well, they had so much going for them. Why would they do that? Why would they take their own lives? Why would anyone that has achieved some sort of celebrity status, like an artist or a writer, like Ernest Hemingway, for example, he took his own life as well. Why would somebody do such a thing? It's because that we're all fighting our own battles. We all have our own demons, our own problems going on in our lives that ultimately leave people, even if they are successful, even if they are doing well, even if they are married with kids, or they have somebody special in their life, or they have a successful career, or they're doing something they love doing, sometimes things happen. And maybe it happens all at once, or maybe it's just this lingering problem that they've been battling for years. And, through alcohol and drug abuse, trying to cope with whatever it is that ails them, whatever struggle that they're fighting. And, a series of things happens, like an unexpected death of a friend or a family or a loved one, or someone, leaves you behind, or you lose your job and you can't find a new job, or you have the bills piling up, or you have serious health problems already, or you feel alone, you feel like you don't have anybody, you feel like, no matter what you do, no matter what you try, nobody cares, or you just feel like you don't matter in this world. You feel like there's 7 billion people in the world, and my life doesn't matter anyways. And whatever the reason is, unfortunately, people taking their own lives is nothing new. And it's happened throughout human existence. And it's strange because you think that would go against everything that it would mean to be human, because we have our instincts, we have our drives to live, to prosper, and go on and live this life for as long as we can, to be here for every year, every month, every week, every minute, every second that we're allowed to be alive, that we would have this drive in us to keep going. And unfortunately for some people, they lose that drive through a series of unfortunate events. And some people can handle it better than other people. Some people go on no matter what life throws at them, and other people don't. We're all wired differently. And I realize there are religions that frown upon taking your life. There are plenty out there that do. And I'm not telling anyone, once again, how to live their life or what religion they should or should not believe. It's whatever you choose to believe in that matters. And I'm not here to frown or judge anyone that has taken their life. I will say this, though. It's sad that they're gone, because not only do they leave behind a lot of grieving fans who may have never met them, but were moved, were inspired by them. And not just fans, but family, friends, and other people. So despite the fact that somebody may appear to have everything that anyone else could desire, whether it's, that special somebody on their arm, or children, or that awesome job or career, there's always things happening in their life that could possibly be getting to them, wearing them thin, breaking them down. And I really do wish more people would seek help whenever there's situations like that do occur. And I'm not one to judge, obviously, because those that have taken their life, there's a lot of them that probably did try to get help. They probably did seek counseling or confided into friends and family, and maybe they were blown off and they're like, oh, it'll be all right, it'll turn around, things will get better. Because the truth is, most of us, and I'm not going to say everyone, because maybe not everybody has, but most of us, myself included, have had moments in our lives when we feel like we'd be better off, and maybe the world would be better off, and everyone else would be better off if we were no longer here. I myself have felt that way plenty of times, where you feel like you're not contributing to this world, or are doing what you want to do, or you're trying to do what you want to do, but at the same time you feel like you're struggling to do it, and you feel like things are not going your way no matter how hard you try. You can't find that special somebody, even though that's something you want more than anything, to find someone to call your own, someone to be with for hopefully the rest of your life, someone to love and be loved by, or succeed in that career that you wish to be in, whatever it is you're doing. It can be a struggle sometimes, and even coming up with ideas when it comes to whatever it is you are about, whether you're a writer or a content creator or a musician or an artist or just somebody working that 9-to-5 job, trying to come up with like a report, trying to write up a report or trying to come up with this big presentation, and you're having issues with it. And you're busting your ass trying to get the job done. Doesn't matter what the job is, doesn't matter if it's work or school or whatever it is in your life that is bringing you down. It does get to the point where it feels like sometimes it can get the better of you. And I've been there plenty of times. And, to extreme points, yes, there are times when you do feel that way, where you're like, you know what, I really wish I didn't have to deal with these headaches anymore. I wish I didn't have to deal with all this bullshit in my life that brings me down, that just grinds me and tears at me. And some people lose that battle, no matter how hard they fight. And a lot of people say, well, they shouldn't have given up. They shouldn't have rolled over. How do you know that they haven't been fighting? How do you know that they haven't been struggling? How do you know that they haven't for years and maybe even decades been fighting this battle? Even if they are successful, even if they are married, even if they do have children, even if they do have a career that makes people like in awe of them, whether they're a celebrity or a sports star or anything else, or a successful business person, or anyone at all. You have no idea what they're going through on a regular basis, on what could be causing them to have issues. And maybe some of those problems are their own vices, or their own doing, because drugs and alcohol are serious issues that a lot of people abuse for whatever rhyme or reason. A lot of time it is to deal with whatever pain it is in their life, whatever is bothering them, whatever is getting to them, whether it was something that was done to them as a kid or a tragic loss along the way that they've been struggling with throughout most of their life, or being rejected over and over again, or are going through failure after failure. There's so many things that cause a person to eventually give up and want to wave the white flag. So I do not condemn, I do not show any sort of judgment towards anyone that has taken their own life, because I was not in their shoes. I don't know how far down the road they went trying. Now, some of them, maybe they didn't even try. Maybe they didn't even attempt to try and, remedy the problem that was going on in their life. And maybe it was something that could have been solved if they would have simply talked to somebody, whether it was a close friend or a family member. And maybe, just maybe, they could have, gotten through it and survived. And that's the moral here, is that we're all going through struggles and we're all going through issues in our lives. Doesn't matter if you're a tween or a teenager or a young adult, or someone like in their 20s or 30s, 40s, 50s, even senior citizens have their own issues in their lives that make them wish to end it. It's something that is not unique to anybody. It's not something that only one particular group of people have to endure and go through, the struggle to keep on living, to roll out of bed in the morning in order to get to school on time or work on time, and in order to make the grades, in order to pass and graduate and get that degree or that diploma, or to make sure that you don't get fired and you keep that paycheck in order to pay the bills, or to eventually get a promotion and advance your career. The struggle continues for so many people on a daily basis. And we've all been there. And the truth is, it's hard. And it's not meant to be easy. That's the way this life is. nothing worth having is ever easy. It's always a struggle. It's always a push, a fight, an endurance. And a lot of times you're not going to win. You're not going to prevail. You're not going to get you're not going to get the girl, or you're not going to get that guy. But eventually, hopefully somebody even better will come along that you're meant to be with. And hopefully eventually that career that you're meant to be in, that thing you're meant to do with your life will eventually reveal yourself if you stay the course. If you keep getting up and dusting yourself off and getting back in the ring and learning from your failures and rejection and the mistakes that you made and trying to continue to better yourself. And if there is problems in your life, if you feel like you're going through these issues where you'll wake up and you're just like, I don't know if I want to get out of bed. I don't even know if I want to go on. You know, I think my family, I think my friends, I think anyone else around me would be better off if I was no longer here. If you're feeling that way, I'm not judging you, but I am asking you to please talk to somebody. Please talk to your parents, talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to people that you trust and love and can confide in. Tell them that you're going through something. And if necessary, seek help. Or at the very least, you know, try and find things to do in your life that make you feel better, whether it's listening to music. And by the way, I spent, you know, at least an hour listening to Linkin Park songs, and wow, I mean, it's just so deep. Going back and just remembering these songs and really feeling probably the struggle that Chester had been going through his entire life, and the struggle that Chris Cornell had been going through his entire life, and so many others like Vincent van Gogh and Ernest Hemingway. The list goes on and on. And those struggles are reflections of our own struggles, of our own pains and sufferings and battles that we're all fighting, because we're all on this crazy world together, this crazy blue, beautiful planet that we all call home. And we're all trying to make it. We're all trying to do something with our lives. Now, we're not all going to be rock stars. We're not all going to be, you know, legendary writers or movie stars or radio stars. But we all do have a place in this world because of the fact that of how unlikely it is that any of us are here to begin with. Like, I mean, not trying to get technical and, you know, TMI, but you being conceived, I mean, you being here is, like they say, you know, fantastic odds of just one of you being here, me being here, of you being here, of everything that had to happen, your parents meeting at that right moment, getting together, and eventually conceiving you at that right time. Anything else that would have deviated from that timeline, even by a fraction, would mean you would not be here, and probably someone else would be. So there's a lot of things that contribute to us being here. You know, fantastic, crazy things, chance occurrences and events that have led to us being where we are today, which is alive. We're still here. We're still standing. We may be struggling. We may get knocked down. We may get beat down sometimes. And there may be times when we feel like we have nothing left to contribute, no matter how hard we try. And we feel like that, you know, you may invest weeks and months and even years into something, and you feel like it's not going anywhere. But at the same time, life, as I said, was never meant to be easy. And the truth is, a lot of us have it a lot better than past generations. And sometimes we are guilty of taking things for granted, not realizing that as bad as things could be in our lives, they could always be a lot worse. And I'm guilty of that as well. On plenty of occasions, I'm guilty of that. But at the same time, I'm not ignoring or belittling the struggles that I go through or the struggles that you or anyone else are enduring right now. But at the same time, sometimes we have to realize that the grass may not always be greener on the other side, and that maybe, just maybe, the things that are bothering us aren't as bad as they may seem in the long run. And that everything happens as it's meant to. The good things as well as the bad things. What I do know is that I'm still here, despite everything that's happened in my life, and I'm going to keep going. And I hope that you will as well. And we're in the struggle together, you and me. And we honor and we remember those that have come and gone, who are no longer with us, that unfortunately decided to check out on their own terms. But at the same time, that's not how I wish to go. That's not how I wish my life to end. I mean, if that was the case, I would have kept drinking when I found out that, my liver was not in the best of condition. I wouldn't have completely changed my diet. I wouldn't be, going through all medical tests and a biopsy last week in the hopes of becoming a lab rat, part of a, experimental study. I would have just kept on drinking and said, fuck it. I would have just kept drinking, kept eating. I mean, I'm not completely a health nut, but I am eating way better than I used to, even though I do occasionally like to have a little something every now and then, like some ice cream or pizza or burger. But I am trying, I'm trying to work out 2 to 3 days a week because I still want to be here, because I feel like that I do have things to live for, or at least hopefully down the road I may meet somebody special, or I may finally realize what it was that I was meant to do with my life. Maybe it's not being a content creator. Maybe it wasn't to be a radio personality. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't to go into politics. But maybe, just maybe, if I keep going, if I keep gaining knowledge and learning and living, eventually I will find whatever it is I was meant to be. Obviously, I wasn't meant to be a small business owner or anything else in that capacity, but perhaps, just perhaps, there's still something waiting for me in this life. Or maybe I'll be gone tomorrow, but even if tomorrow I'm gone, even if I am not meant to be in this world much longer, whether it's a few more days or a few more weeks or a few more months or years left in my life, I choose to keep living. Because I don't know what's on the other side. I honestly don't. I mean, some people believe that there is life after death. I would like to believe that. I don't know if there's a hell or a heaven or a Valhalla or purgatory or a fifth dimension. I would like to believe that we are more than flesh and bone. I would like to believe that this, first-person experience that we are all going through is not just for this life, but perhaps, future lives. Or I don't know. Then again, this could be all that we have, and once you die, it all goes black and it's over. But whatever the case may be, I wish to go on. I wish to continue to live and even struggle on good days and bad days. Because this is the life that I currently have. And, even though there is 7 billion of us on the planet, which is a huge number, or huge as some people would say, each of us are here by a crazy set of circumstances. And that's what matters, is that you are here right now in this life. And that you have no idea how much you mean to somebody, how much you mean to your friends and your family and your loved ones. And to other people that may look up to you, they may value you. Whether it's a half a dozen people or a 500,000 people or a half a billion people. You are valued by somebody else that's on this planet right now. Whether it's one person or 100 people or 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people. You do matter. And it's unfortunate that a lot of us feel like that we don't matter. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the times that we live in. Maybe it's everything that's happening in the world around us. But sometimes we all feel that way. And I wish we didn't. And the struggles that we endure, the headaches, the BS, even if some of it turns out to be trivial in the end, it still gets to you after a while. Even if it's things you had no control over at all, it still nags at you. It still grinds at you. It still tears into your very body and soul. And it makes you wonder, like, What can I do to improve the situation? What can I do to make my life better? What can I do to resolve this issue that I'm having? And all I can say is time and patience and troubleshooting, I guess, trial and error until eventually you figure out what to do about this or that or whatever it is that's bothering you, whether it's a subject in school or an issue at work or something going on in your personal life. There are solutions out there, and they're not quick solutions. They're not easy, fast, food-themed solutions. Most solutions aren't. It usually takes time in order to lose the weight, in order to get back in shape, in order to get healthy, or in order to gain certain knowledge and experience and skills and wisdom in order to eventually, become that person you want to be in that particular field that you would like to be in. Success does not come overnight. A lot of times there's failure on the way. There's bumps in the road. There's issues. We get up and we get knocked down again, but you got to keep getting on up. And even in the best relationships, there's issues because you and your partner are going to have disagreements, and there's going to be struggles there too. And sometimes you're going to wish you were alone. And trust me, someone that is alone, that never wanted to be alone, it sucks. I mean, yeah, there are moments when you see other people in miserable relationships, and if you're in a miserable relationship or marriage, the truth is you probably would be better off single. And I would say that as somebody who is single, I would much rather be single than ever in another miserable relationship. But at the same time, that doesn't stop me from wanting, craving, desiring to eventually find somebody to share a life with, to do things with, to go see things with, to build a future with. And these are all things that we all endure and we all go through that make us wonder, like, why do I want to go on if I have to continue dealing with this bullshit? This boss that you hate, this job that you loathe. Well, the answer is try and find a better job, or at least find something outside of work or school that at least makes you forget about it for a while, whether it's listening to music or playing video games or Netflix and chilling or riding or going and bowling or shooting basketball hoops or jogging or working out. Things that can get your mind off whatever it is that's bringing you down. Because we are only here for a certain amount of time. And unfortunately, we have no idea how long we're going to be here. My mom was only here for 25 years. And I have two grandparents that are in their 90s that are still around. So, who knows how long you or I are still going to be here. I mean, you may go on for a few more years or a few more decades. Or tomorrow could be your last day. We have no idea when the bell is going to toll for any of us. But life is precious. Your life does matter. And if you are going through something right now that you're struggling with, you're having issue with, that's really making you question why you're here, I ask of you to please don't let that bring you down. Don't let that be the end of you. And it doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you are a musician or a writer, or someone who's a waiter or a waitress, or someone working a 9-to-5 job, or somebody that's in school right now or college. It doesn't matter to me who you are. What matters to me is you. Your life matters, because we are all here for a limited amount of time, and you got to make the most out of this life, the good days as well as the bad days. And it's easy for all of us to allow those bad days and those bad things to bring us down. It happens to me all the time. You have no idea how many days I sit around or lay around wondering, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do in my life? Asking, begging, pleading, praying, trying to figure out what the hell it is I'm supposed to do. And I can imagine that struggle is the same for almost everybody else. But the only thing we can do is keep going. Keep on trucking. And if there is a problem, try and find a solution. It may take time. It may take a lot of time. You know, weeks, months, even years dedicating yourself to trying to better yourself, you know, mentally and physically and spiritually and emotionally. But it can be done. We are amazing creatures, human beings. Amazing and terrifying at the same time. We are capable of creating beautiful things, of being the best, but at the same time being complete monsters, of doing horrible things. But you are not a monster. Because most people, I believe, are generally good people. And all they want is to be able to find a reason for being here, a purpose in their life. To have that reason, to have that sense of accomplishment, to have something to look forward to every day, and to have somebody eventually by their side, someone that can be there for them, someone they can be there for, someone they can experience this life with. So don't let this world bring you down. Don't let whatever it is that is hurting you, harming you, getting to you, be your undoing. There is help out there. There is solutions. It just takes time to find the solutions and to find a way to endure. To go to your happy places, they say, through whatever it is that makes you happy, the things that you enjoy, because we all have those things, right? Like I mentioned, music, art, movies, TV shows, writing, our sports, simply working out, or just going for a walk, or playing video games. You know, use those things, channel yourself into those things to help you. Because they will. I mean, whether they're, you know, other people you enjoy spending time with, or even your pets. There's plenty of times when I'm down in the dirts and my dog or one of my cats just comes up to me and, you know, somehow has this, you know, unconditional love and ability to bring me out of whatever it is that's getting me down. And sometimes it takes a while to get me out of a rut. It's not easy. But eventually you can get out of a rut. You can pull yourself back out of whatever hole you happen to be in. It just takes time. It takes determination and the courage to admit that there's something wrong, that there's something bothering you. And the ability to go to that person or persons who you love, who you confide in, who you believe in, who you know feel the same way about you, whether they are family, your parents, if you're lucky to still have parents or grandparents or legal guardians, or siblings, our close aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends. Go to them. Tell them what's going on. Tell them, look, you know, there's something on my mind. There's something bothering me. And that's the first step. And you got to be willing to take that first step. And that's the lesson that we have to learn here, is that we do not pass judgment on those that have chosen to take their life, because we don't know what struggles that they've been through leading up to that point. But at the same time, we can learn from them. We can learn that there is solutions. There is hope. Even in the darkest of hours, there's still hope. As long as you're still breathing, as long as you're still functioning, as long as you still can do things that there are plenty of people that take for granted, like walking, the ability to feed yourself, to clothe yourself. There are a lot of disabled people out there right now that would love to be able to walk, that would love to be able to see because they're blind, or hear because they're deaf, and yet they keep on going. And if they can keep on going, if they can endure whatever that they have to go through in their life, then so can we. And I'm going to keep on going, no matter how hard it is, no matter what struggles I have to endure, or whatever awaits me tomorrow. The good days and the bad days, I'm going to keep going until it's over. And when it ends for me, it's because that's when, you know, it was supposed to end. Not by my hand, not by my doing, but by God's doing, or by fate, or by the supreme being, or whatever it is that's beyond us. Whenever my time's up, my time's up. And I sincerely hope that you will keep going as well on this crazy journey that we call life. And I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard. And it tears you apart to hear stories about people that you knew and loved and looked up to and admired. And it seems like that someone like that, like, you know, Chester Bennington or Chris Cornell or anyone else out there, could never be brought to the point where they would take their own lives. But like I said, you don't know the struggles that they have gone through on a daily basis, the things that they've had to endure in their lives that eventually led them to that point. But don't allow that to defeat you. Don't allow that to crush you. Don't allow that to break you. We must keep going. We must. And it's just something that we all have to make the decision on. And look, I have no control over what you do, over the choices you make, any more than you have the control or say over what I do. And there may be some out there that listen to this that ultimately do decide to end it. I just hope that maybe, just maybe, my words might have swayed somebody. Hopefully more than one person, or maybe a lot of people, into not doing it. Because there's still a lot to live for. As long as you're still alive, there's still plenty to live for. And like I said, in the end, you can, do the best you can and try as hard as you can and passionately plead with somebody to keep going. But at the end, it's up to each of us to make that decision for ourselves. And we can be inspired by others. We can be moved by others. And that's a good thing, because we should be there to lift each other up when we are down. Whether we're friends or family or people you don't even know that you just happen to like and look up to. And that's why I do this, because I know there are those that struggle every day. My subscribers, my viewers and fans, I know some of you do. Because I do. Because we all do. And I sincerely hope that what I had to say here, through my rambling, actually made some sort of difference. And that we can learn from those that have chosen to take their lives. And that hopefully, just hopefully, those lessons will be enduring to us, that you can seek fame and fortune, that you can eventually get to that point in your life, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter, because cars just distracted me. But anyways, video games. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, because it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a clerk. It doesn't matter if you're a star. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you are in life, whether you're rich or poor, middle class, whatever. We're all struggling. We're all enduring. But we're all still here. And that's what matters. Make every day count. Live your life. And try to keep going. Try to pick yourself up. Roll yourself out of bed. Get yourself off the couch. Keep going. And try and figure out what it is that's wrong in your life, that's bringing you down, that's breaking you. Whether it's a person or persons, or it's a situation, or perhaps even it's the town or city you live in, or it's that job, or whatever it is. There are other ways out. There are other solutions than taking your life. And I sincerely hope that I somehow, through these words, have perhaps even saved a life. And maybe several lives. I don't know. But if you need help, it's out there. Through like suicide prevention lines, or by simply confiding in somebody. Please, if you are going through something like this, know that it's not too late, as long as you're still here. And as long as you're willing to seek help, and as long as you're willing to try and do something about it, you still have a lot to live for.